Hey everyone, this is Bo with TechT again. In this video I'm going to show you how to install the new TechT TPX Stream spring kit for the Tippmann TPX pistol. The first thing that you need to do is remove your clip. You can set it off to the side. Secondly, you're going to want to remove your barrel and CO2 end cap. Next thing we need to do is remove the 7 screws that hold the clamshells together. Now the middle screw here at the top of the gun, after you've unscrewed it from the nut, tends to want to scrape against the breech. So what I like to do is turn the gun over and I can stick my Allen wrench and push it through, and then use my Allen wrench to push down on the breech, use leverage and push down on the breech a little bit to relieve some of the pressure on the screw so that it comes out a little bit easier and I don't damage the threads. Once you have all those screws out, you can begin to pull the clamshells apart. Set that off to the side. Now the first thing that I like to remove is this adapter in the front that goes around your barrel. It causes a lot of tension on the rest of the spring. Next you can remove your breech, and finally the stock spring and bolt. I'm going to go ahead and re-lube the bolt. Wipe off this old grease. Go ahead and re-lube the bolt and power tube or bolt guide. Next you need to decide which spring you would like to use. In this video I'm going to go ahead and install the middle strength spring. So you can pull the 3 springs out. And you should be able to tell the difference just by squeezing them and comparing them to one another. The smallest or the lightest spring is the thinnest tensile strength, so it is the smallest one, which I have there. And then you just compare the other two, and I can tell that this one is my medium one, so I'm going to install my medium one for this video. And you reinstall it the same way that you took your stock spring off. You just slide it over the bolt like you had before. Reinstall the bolt on the bolt guide. Bring your breech back in and be sure that you're installing your breech properly. There should be a recessed piece inside the breech to hold the spring, and on the other side there should be a barrel and threads. Be sure that the barrel and threads, or excuse me, that O-ring and threads are facing towards the barrel and that the breech is facing towards the back. Be sure also that your ball detent is seated properly in its place. Next you can take and put the breech over the spring and slide it into place. And really, this barrel adapter piece is what holds that in place. You see it wants to spring up with the pressure of the spring there. So this piece, once it's installed, really kind of holds everything down, as you can see. Next I want to be sure that the rest of my pieces are all in line and have not come out of place. Specifically the not only the safety, which is in my other clamshell, but specifically the clip release. Now I just need to reinstall my clamshells. I'm going to go ahead and remove this top screw that we talked about earlier and set it off to the side for a moment. Be sure you take an Allen wrench and pull this safety over to the side and just line up your holes, and everything should snap back together pretty easily. There we go. Got my safety out of the way and it's still spring loaded, so I know that it's okay. Next I just need to tighten down these screws. Finally, with this long screw, what I like to do is you can see that the spring pressure on the breech is pressing it up into this screw's hole. So what I like to do is go ahead and begin lining that screw up, and then take my Allen wrench and use a little leverage and just press down on the breech as we did when we were taking it apart. And that's going to help save the threads on the screw a little bit. Next we can reinstall our barrel and CO2 end cap. and our clip. It's very important that you adjust your velocity before playing with your TPX now that you've put the TPX Extreme spring kit into it. It will be shooting substantially higher velocity than the last time that you shot it. So be sure that you take it to a chronograph, and if you'd like to go ahead and see the results, it is pretty cool to see how much more velocity that you get out of it. But be sure that you adjust your velocity down via your LPR before actually going out and playing. Thanks for watching.